Buenas tardes todos. In this video, we're going to learn part 3 of the accent rule. This part of the accent rule refers to words that have two vowels next to each other. When there are two vowels next to each other in the same syllable, that is called a diphthong in English, and in Spanish, we call them diptongos. Here is a list of some diphthongs in Spanish, and in each case, they are part of the same syllable. Au, auto. Ay, bailar. Eu, deuda. Ei, reino. Ya, viaje. Ye, diente. Yu, ciudad. Wa, lenguaje. We, huevo. Wi, ruido. Wo, monstruo. In Spanish, there are 3 strong vowels, a, e, and o, and 2 weak vowels, I and U. Two strong vowels never form a diphthong. In other words, 2 strong vowels are never next to each other in the same syllable. They always separate into separate syllables. Some examples: leo, creer, caos. Remember that the strong vowels are a, e, and o. It is very common for a weak vowel to form a diphthong with any other vowel, be it a strong vowel or a weak vowel, and form a diphthong in the same syllable. Agua, the U and A are a diphthong. Diente, I-E. Ciudad, I and U, those are weak vowels. Huevo, here is a weak vowel followed by a strong vowel. This is a list of the diphthongs and more examples of diphthongs in Spanish. Bailar, auto, bueno. There must be at least one weak vowel to create a diphthong, because 2 strong vowels can never create a diphthong because they automatically separate into separate syllables. So pronounce after me these diphthongs with words. I sounds like the IE in the word pie. Repitan: aire, bailar, caimán, fraile, Haití. The AU is pronounced like the OW in the word crowd. Au. Repitan: auto, bautizo, cautivo, fauno, gaucho. The diphthong E is pronounced like the AY in say. Repitan: aceite, afeitar, reina, peinar, 30, 20. The EU is pronounced like the E in men, followed by the double O in boot. EU, EU, EU. Repitan: deuda, euforia, euro, Europa, eucalipto, feudal. The diphthong I-A is pronounced like the ya in Yahoo. Novia, familia, enviar, diamante, cambiar. The IE is pronounced like the ye in yes. Bien, cien, diez, fiesta, viento. The diphthong EO is pronounced like the double E as in sí, and then the O as in no. Io, io. Repitan, anfibio, alivio, adverbio, aluminio. The EU is pronounced like the double E as in sí, followed by the double O as in two. EU, iu. Repitan, ciudad, diurno, diurético, oriundo. The diphthong OI is pronounced OI. Repitan, oigo, boicot, celuloide, heroico. The diphthong UA is pronounced like the double O, U, followed by A, UA. Repitan, actual, guante, antigua, mensual. The UE is pronounced like the word we, but shorter. Repitan, bueno, cueva, fuerte, juego. The diphthong UI is pronounced like we. Repitan, cuidado, fui, Suiza, gratuita. The diphthong UO is pronounced like wo. Repitan, antiguo, cuota, ingenuo, virtuoso. When there is a weak vowel next to any other vowel, it usually forms a diphthong, but occasionally it separates as if it were a strong vowel from the vowel next to it. And there is no diphthong created, such as in the word Maria. The I, which is a weak vowel, does not form a diphthong with the A because it is pronounced more strongly. Maria. Therefore, it separates from the A, creating another syllable. Another example is Rio. The I separates from the O, even though the I is a strong vowel. Tia. País. Tatuan. The U, the weak vowel, separates from the strong vowel A, because that's how this word is usually pronounced. Ataúd. As you can see, when the weak vowel is pronounced with a stronger pronunciation in some words, and it separates from the vowel adjacent to it, then we must write an accent mark over the weak vowel to show that it is pronounced strongly and in a separate syllable from the neighboring vowel. That is why the word Maria has an accent. the accent is going to be written on the weak vowel to separate it from the strong vowel or from the vowel next to it. So here is a list of words. I have underlined the tonic syllable of each of the words below. Determine from what I have just said which words require an accent mark based on the accent rule. Okay, so you have to think about separation of weak vowels from other vowels if that is happening in the word. And you also have to apply the accent rules that you already know for palabras agudas, llanas, esdrújulas, and sobreesdrújulas. Let's do a few of them together. We'll do the first row together, and then you can try the rest on your own. The first one is iguana. Now, as you can see, in this syllable, there's a weak vowel followed by a strong vowel. They're in the same syllable, so that means that there's a diphthong created. Okay. Now, we do not want to put an accent over the U, certainly, because why? If we did that, that would separate the U from the A and create yet another syllable in the word. Okay, so we're not going to put any accent mark on this word due to separating a weak vowel from another vowel. So then we apply the rule you already know and identify the category of this word. Because it's the second to the last syllable that I have underlined as the tonic syllable, we have a palabra llana. And the llanas that end in a vowel do not receive an accent mark. So the word iguana does not have an accent. Let's see. Let's do this word, guardia. Now this word happens to have two diphthongs, the ua and the ia. Guar is the tonic syllable. We will not add an accent mark to separate any vowels in this case because we want to leave them as a part of the same syllable as diphthongs. So then we apply the regular accent rule, and we see that this is a palabra llana, which ends in a vowel, so we do not need an accent mark. Going to this word, creación, which is a three-syllable word with the last syllable stressed, we see that there is a separation between these two vowels, crea, because they're both strong vowels. That's why they separated into two separate syllables. Crea, the a stands by itself in its own syllable. And then we have a diphthong with the I and the O in the last syllable. Since there's a diphthong, we don't want to separate the diphthong by accenting the weak vowel. Okay. So let's then go to the category of the word, which is aguda, because of it's stressed on the last syllable. Looking at the last letter, we see that it is an N. Words that are aguda, that end in a vowel NRS, must be accented. So we must put an accent on this syllable, but we certainly cannot accent the weak vowel because that would separate the I from the O into separate syllables. So the accent must go over the O. Okay. And the final word in this row is ciervo. The I and the E are in the same syllable, so they form a diphthong. We will not accent the I, certainly, because we want to keep it in the same syllable as the E. This is a palabra llana ending in a vowel, and it does not need an accent. Okay. So that's the way to think through this part of the accent rule. You start looking for diphthongs and combinations of adjacent vowels. And then after that, well, then you have to decide that does the word need an accent on the weak vowel? Does the weak vowel separate from the vowel next to it? The weak vowel being either an I or a U. If the I or the U separates from the vowel next to it, then you'll have to put an accent on the I or the U. If it doesn't separate from the vowel next to it, you don't want to accent the weak vowel, the I or the U. So pause your recording and try these. Okay, so here are your answers. We've already gone through the first row. Let's take a look at unicornio. There should not be a space between the N and the I. My apologies for that. This is a 4-syllable word. Unicornio. Okay. There is a diphthong here between the I and the O. Okay. And so we don't want to put an accent over the I. This happens to be a palabra llana, ending in a vowel, so it will not need an accent. Here we have mío. This is a 2-syllable word. It's 2 syllables because the I and the O separated. How would you know? Well, in life, you would listen to the word or you would know how it's pronounced. Mío. Mío is pronounced as a 2-syllable word. And because of that, we have to show that there's a separation between the weak vowel and the vowel next to it by putting an accent over the weak vowel. So that's why there's an accent mark in mío. Now, that's the first decision you have to make. Then if you go to the rule for agudas and llanas, it doesn't make sense anymore because this is llana, but it ends in a vowel. Okay, so it doesn't follow the rule for llanas. What's going on here is we're separating the weak vowel from the strong vowel by putting an accent on the weak vowel. Okay. Europa has a diphthong here that we keep as a diphthong. It's llana, ending in an A, so it does not need an accent. Reina has a diphthong. It is llana, ending in a vowel, does not need an accent. Creíble, believable, creíble. So here we have a strong vowel and a weak vowel next to each other, but they're separate. They didn't form a diphthong. They don't fall into the same syllable when it's pronounced. It's pronounced as a 3-syllable word, creíble. To show that separation between the weak vowel and the vowel next to it, you must put an accent over the weak vowel. That's why creíble has an accent. Función is aguda. It has a diphthong. So the accent that we need to put here, since it's aguda ending in an N, must be over the strong vowel, not the weak vowel. Labio has a diphthong. It is llana and ends in an O, does not need an accent. Saúco is a 3-syllable word. The U, the weak vowel, separates off from the strong vowel, A. It stands alone, saúco. To show that it's strong, not weak, you put an accent over the U. Gaucho. This has a diphthong, A-U. It is llana, ending in a vowel, and does not need an accent. Consuelo has a diphthong, ue. It is Yana, does not need an accent. León does have an accent. What's happening in this word? Well, the E and the O separated. Why? Because they're both strong vowels. Remember, whenever strong vowels are next to each other, they separate into different syllables. That's why this is a two-syllable word, león. However, the word is pronounced as an aguda word with the stress on the last syllable. And it ends in an N, so therefore you must put an accent on the O. The verb reírse, to laugh. The weak vowel I separates from the E, rather than having the E and the I fall into the same syllable and form a diphthong. To show that the I is strong, you put an accent on it. Reírse. Ambiente does have a diphthong. It is Yana and ends in a vowel and does not need an accent. Radio has a diphthong. It is Yana, ending in a vowel, does not need an accent. Luis is a one-syllable word. Does not have an accent. It does have a diphthong, two weak vowels. And viuda, the IU is a two weak vowel diphthong, viuda. The word is Yana, ending in a vowel. It does not need an accent. How'd you do? Write down any questions you have for me for class. All right, so let's practice this from another angle. The words I've written here are written correctly, meaning if they need an accent, they have one. So based on your knowledge of strong vowels, weak vowels, diphthongs, and accents, write down the number of syllables for each word. Okay, so how can you do that? Let's do one together. Here, assuming you've never heard this word before, si, tua, ua. Is that a diphthong? How can we tell if the u and the a are in the same syllable or not? Well, if they're in the same, if they're in different syllables, then the u would have an accent, but it doesn't. So that's one syllable. T-U-A is one syllable. Here's another pair of vowels. How do we know that this is a diphthong or not a diphthong? Well, if the I separated from the O, then the I would have an accent mark, but it doesn't. Okay? It's the O that has an accent mark, the strong vowel. So here we have situation, situation. That's three syllables. So that's how to figure out how many syllables are in the word. So pause the recording and try this with the other words, and then we'll go over them. Here are the answers. Situación, 3 sílabas. Farmacia, 3 sílabas. The I and the A form a diphthong. Estudiante, 4 sílabas. The I and the A form a diphthong. Increíble, incredible, 4 sílabas. How do you know there's 4 and not 3? How do you know that the E and the I do not form a diphthong? Because there's an accent on the I. Buenos, 2. The U and the E form a diphthong. Colombia, 3 sílabas. The E and the A form a diphthong in the same syllable. Ciudad, 2 sílabas. Librería, 4 sílabas. The I is strong and has an accent mark, and it separates from the A to form an extra syllable. Adiós, 2 sílabas. The accent is on the strong vowel, so the I and the O do not separate. Hierro. There is a diphthong here, and there are 2 syllables in hierro. Mateo. Remember, the strong vowels never are part of the same syllable. So the E will separate off from the O, giving us 3 syllables. Mateo. Teatro. E and A are strong. They must be in separate syllables. Teatro tiene 3 sílabas. How would you do? All right. Here is a practice with words of 2 or more syllables. I will say each one. Your job is to identify the tonic syllable, decide if the word is aguda, llana, or esdrújula, and apply the accent rule. If needed, write an accent mark. Some words may have a diphthong. Número 1, protector. Protector. Número 2, censura. Censura. Número 3, éxodo. Éxodo. Número 4, ilegal. Ilegal. Número 5, vudú. Vudú. Número 6, escándalo. Escándalo. Número 7, aprendizaje. Aprendizaje. Número 8, huérfano. Huérfano. Número 9, derrame. Derrame. Número 10, alud. Alud. Número 11, eficaz. Eficaz. Número 12, frágil. Frágil. Bueno, pause the recording, go back, think through your answers. What kind of category is it? Aguda, llana, esdrújula, sobre esdrújula. Identify any diphthongs or any occasions where there is a break in a possible diphthong, and then apply what you know now of the accent rules. Okay. Bien. Protector does not need an accent mark. It is aguda, ending in a consonant. Censura is llana. ending in a vowel, does not need an accent mark. Éxodo is esdrújula. There must be an accent mark on the E. Ilegal is aguda, ending in a consonant. No accent mark is needed. Voodoo is aguda, ending in a vowel. So there is an accent over the last U. Escándalo is esdrújula, accent on A of can. Aprendizaje is llana, stressing sa. It is, it has a last letter as a vowel, and it does not need an accent. Huérfano is esdrújula. Huer is the tonic syllable, but here there's a diphthong. So which vowel gets the accent mark? Not the weak vowel. Why? Because if we stress the weak vowel, then it will separate from the strong vowel and create an extra syllable. We want to keep the U and the E together in the same syllable. So we'll accent the E, not the U, because E is the strong vowel. Derrame, this is llana, ending in a vowel and does not need an accent mark. Alud, that is aguda, ending in a consonant, no accent is needed. Eficaz is aguda, ending in a consonant, no accent mark is needed. And frágil is llana. Fra is the tonic syllable. This word ends in a consonant, and so we must accent the A of fra. Muy bien. How did you do on these? We'll do more practice in class, but I hope that this helped you to understand the final part of the accent rule, how to identify diphthongs, and how to accent a weak vowel when there is a separation between two adjacent vowels. Write down any questions you have, and I will see you in class. Muchas gracias.